Hi, everyone, and welcome to my coloring corner. Today is Work in Progress Wednesday, and we're going to be working on the Inky Advent Calendar, which we're going to be doing number 9, which is today's square on the Advent Calendar. Once we're all done with that, if we have time, we're going to work on the snow globe, the 12 Days of Christmas snow globe that I started on Tips and Tricks Tuesday. So I have worked on this for the past couple of days, and I didn't film it. I'm sorry, because I got behind. So I didn't want to film it all in one day and do little bits of it because I got behind. So I thank you all for joining me. I see that I've got 2 people visiting. Hello, and so happy that you are here. I'm going to wait for a little bit. I've got a couple of different reminders that I need to let y'all know about. First of all, of course, is we have a fantastic party happening on Sunday, which is going to be the wonderful Christmas bash. We've got some fantastic prizes. Hi, DJ. One of the prizes, of course, is our grand prize. And of course, you can see all the prize packages on one of my Thursday videos. Not this last one, I think it's the one before. I will leave a link to it in the description of this video. But one of the things that I have asked everybody to do that wants to participate in the grand prize is to make sure that you send me an email. This is an email to the channel's email address. Make sure that you send me an email so that I can go through and send you a bingo card. We are going to play bingo for the final prize. If you don't have a bingo card from me, unfortunately, you cannot participate. I will not be sending out any bingo cards on the during the live stream. So if you do not have a bingo card before the live stream, then you cannot participate in the drawing for the grand prize, unfortunately. So make sure that you contact me and let me know that you want to participate and you would like a bingo card. If you do not do that, I cannot send you one because I do not have email addresses of the subscribers, just the fact that you have subscribed. Another thing that I would like to remind you of is the Saturday color along. This Saturday will not be a color along. I will be doing some of my Christmas baking. So I will have an assistant. Her name is Ellen. She is a subscriber to the channel and she is a personal friend of mine. So she will be assisting me, looking after the cameras, answering your chat questions, that sort of thing. I will try to make sure that I have a wireless mic so I can tell you what's going on, and that sort of thing. Hi, Barb. So if any of you have any questions or have not received your bingo card, please make sure that you send me an email. The email address is in the description of the channel, is in the About section of the channel, as well as in every description of the videos as they go up. So if you don't have that email address, just a little bit of searching around, you should be able to find it. What else was there? Oh, currently we have a wonderful thing set up and already on its way to being a fantastic thing. We have our Facebook group up and running, yay, which is wonderful. If you are not already a member of the Facebook group and you want to join the Facebook group, of course you can do that by filling out the application questions and going to My Coloring Corner in Facebook. Sorry about that, I had a text. Other than that, that's about all I have to say for announcements and things like that. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask. That's one of the reasons why we do the live streams, is A, so we can sit here and chat and talk about different things that are going on, and B, to get any sort of things that you guys want to see that I haven't been putting out on the channel out on the table, so I can take a look and see what I can do to do that and what I need to do that. And of course, to get some of these work in progresses off my desk, because I have a few of them. So I've got some new people come in. Hello out there. Today we're going to do, once again, we're going to do the Inky Advent Calendar by Joanna Basford. We're going to do number 9, which is today's number. And once that's done, if we have some time, we will also be working on this one that I started on Tips and Tricks Tuesday last week, did a little bit more on it this week, and hopefully we'll have it finished by the end of the day. Hi, Leslie. So glad to see ya. So let's get started on the Inky Advent Calendar. I'm going to switch you over to the close-up camera here. I'm going to show you all the ones that I've already done. So I did do these all recently. I have not been following day by day because I got behind. I'm sorry. So there's number 1. And then way down here at the bottom, we have number 2. And then back up here, we have number 3. And then way down here in the other bottom, we have number 4. And number 5 is this wonderful sparkly Christmas ball here. And number 6 is we have some wonderful postage going out. And 7, of course, is a wonderful candy cane. And number 8 is our wonderful little doll. And of course, I've got glitter and sparkles and stickles and these wonderful, wonderful pencils that were given to me from a program that we have running in our Facebook group. Oh, wonderful. I am so glad that you're here. It is Leslie's first time attending a live, which is wonderful. So these are Woodless metallic pencils. I got these from a random act of kindness in a program that we are running on our Facebook group. And all of the backgrounds, like this part and the purple down here, as well as the green and the pinky purple here and the black here, are all these wonderful pencils. Same with this cream color here on the candles, are all these wonderful pencils, and they're all metallic. They're actually really shiny. I don't know if you can see that on camera, but they are so shiny. And I have been very gentle with them. I haven't actually smushed it down to get all the white spot out because I don't want to ruin them yet. I don't want to test them to that extent yet. So we will be using those on the background of number 9 here. And we'll get started. Of course, if you're not in the live stream and you are watching this after the live stream, you can definitely follow along. If you are watching the live stream and have started the Advent calendar, of course, follow along. Now, I will make sure that I leave this disclaimer out there, this is the way I do things. This is not always the exact way that it should be done. It is not the perfect way. It is just the way I do it. And I am often not doing things the way that the normal people do because I'm just not normal. So I'm going to use a 3-tone on these holly leaves. And that's the first thing I'm going to start with is the holly leaves. I'm just making sure that my pencils are sharp enough. I think this one needs a little bit sharper tip. So I'm going to grab my sharpener, and this is the Doll 133. I'm going to switch over to the other camera because you can't see it with that one. It's too close. So it's the Doll 133, and it is a fantastic sharpener. It even works really well on the really soft pencils. Like these Brunzels are, I wouldn't say that they are super, super soft, but they are a lot softer than a lot of my pencils. They're not Prismacolor soft, but they are pretty soft. So I've got Brunzel number 63, and I'm just going to give the spines, you know, the little areas of the veining in the leaf a little bit of color here. And as you can see with the Brunzels, they do dust a little bit, so always make sure that you have your dusting brush nearby if you're working with a dusty pencil. I have a tendency to forget my dusting brush and use my hand, which just makes a big old mess. So let's see if I can find, there it is, my dusting brush. Now, I know it's a little messy to start with because I'm not trying to be overly pretty about it right now. Once I get the base coats down, then I will start getting prettier with it. Right now, I'm just following the lines, giving it the lines itself a little bit of color, and putting in some shadows while I'm at it. Most people say that you should put down your light colors and then put down your dark colors and your shadows. I don't. I go completely backwards on that. Depends upon what I'm doing. If I'm doing a grayscale, I have a tendency with grayscales to put down the lights over top of the grayscale first and then go over it with the dark. Like I said, depending upon how dark the grayscale is. If the grayscale is really, really dark, I tend to do that. If the grayscale is a nice light grayscale and that's not necessary to lighten up the grayscale, then I won't. So it all depends upon the picture, really. And like I said, I'm never going to say that I am right, because half the time I'm not. Half the time I'm very wrong, so, or backwards, one or the other. I tend to be backwards most of the time. But as long as I'm having fun and enjoying myself and things turn out the way I want them to and they're pretty as far as I'm concerned, that's all that matters. Your vision is your own, and how you get there is up to you. No, it's not in this video description yet, because I haven't, with a live, you can't put in the video description until after it becomes a video. A live is not a video until after the live part is done, and then it's considered a recording. But I am glad that you were able to find it. Leslie, the reason why she was looking for my email address, if you were not here for that part of it, is, of course, on Sunday, we have our Christmas party happening. And for the grand prize on the Christmas party, I'm going to have a bingo game. And if you want to be qualified for that grand prize, you have to email me on the channel's email address for a bingo card. If you don't have a bingo card on the day of the party, which is Sunday, this coming Sunday, unfortunately, you will not be qualified to enter for the grand prize. So if you would like to be entered for the grand prize, please, go into the About section of my channel itself, and there should be an email address there, and send me an email asking for your bingo card so that I can send that to you so that you will be qualified for that grand prize. Because I will not be sending any out during the live stream. You have to have them before the live stream starts. Now I'm just going over it with a lighter green, brightening it up a little bit, and I'm going over everything that I've already colored. All of the dark areas I've already colored. I'm going over those with the lighter green. Now, if you go over your darker areas with a light color and you find that it's too light, go over it with the dark color again until you get to the color that you want it to be. Alrighty. Now this one is pretty small, too long. Wonderful. I am so excited that you're going to be there, and it should be so much fun. There are some great prizes. I've already got a few people that have their bingo cards and are all ready to go, which is wonderful. Nobody is disqualified from being a part of the prize drawings, other than myself and my husband, because that's just pointless. But, I had one of my admins of the Facebook group ask me if she was going to be able to participate in the Christmas party and in the prize drawings and the games and whatnot. And absolutely, I am not going to disqualify anybody, including my admins, from anything that goes on the YouTube channel. They have nothing to do with anything on the YouTube channel. They are the admins for the Facebook, and that's it. All right. So we've got the leaves done for the holly. I'm just going to clean them up a little bit. Make sure that all my white spots cleared up. The one thing I like about the bronzes is I don't need to blend a lot with a blending pencil. The pencils blend together so nicely that it's not necessary, and they cover really, really well. This is printed on a 65 or 67 pound cardstock, sorry. So it's a Nina or whatever cardstock that I got off Amazon. I buy a lot of things on Amazon. Amazon really likes me. Well, really likes my credit card anyway. I always pay my credit card, so I guess it kind of likes me because they make quite a bit of money off of me. All right, so we've got that down. Now we're going to go into the colors here for the mistletoe. And I'm just going to add a little bit of blue-gray, because every mistletoe I've ever seen is almost like a sage plant. It has a little bit of that graying going on the leaves. So I'm just going to add a little bit of that gray to the mistletoe leaves. And then I'm going to take this color here and just give a bit of a darkness to it. I think this olive green is a little bit too dark, but oh well. I'll go over it with the light green and lighten it up a little bit. There it is. I lost my pencil sharpener. So does anybody have any questions yet, or have any thoughts on what we can do for Tips and Tricks Tuesday, or anything like that? Anything you want to see reviewed? That sort of thing. Or are you all just... Okay, so this one here, I've put a little bit too much light green on it. So I'm just going to go, I almost put it on the wrong picture. I'm just going to bring that darker green up a little bit. Yeah, the Saturday bake-along is going to be definitely interesting. I've got to get my husband to set up all sorts of cameras in the kitchen. And then I have to make sure my kitchen is clean, because, yeah, I'm not going to be doing the bake-along with a messy kitchen. Well, this one here was done with a set of gel pens that I'm going to review on Friday, on Flips and Fun Stuff Friday. I'll switch over to the other camera here. And they are the Arteza. They have a metallic set and they have a glitter set. And the Christmas ball here was done with the glitter set. And they laid down beautifully. And they're not overly expensive. So I'm not sure if I can get that glitter to show for you. There you go. So all of the color on the Christmas ball itself was done with those Arteza glitter pens. The little balls around it are stickles, but I will be going through and reviewing those on Friday. Yeah, they lay down beautifully, and they are so glittery. Like, I can never get sparkle in a picture, and I actually got the sparkle in the picture on that, which surprised me because I can never get sparkle in the picture. All right. Now, of course, while you're coloring, keep the colors that you're using handy, so that if you do leave a little bit too much light green or light color, you can, of course, grab your darker color and just go over it and lighten it up or darken it up. When you go over a dark color with a light color, I find it brightens that dark color up a little bit. Sometimes it'll wash it out depending upon how light the color is. So if you go over a red with a really, really light pink, almost white, it's going to change that red. It's going to turn that red into a pink. But if you go over a dark green with a lighter green, with a green that has a little bit more yellow in it, it's going to brighten that green up a little bit. It all depends upon the color and how much lower of a color you're going. If I was to take almost a black green and go over it with a really light green, it's probably just going to lighten that black green up. This is quite a dark olive green, so there's quite a bit of brown in it. So when I go over it with the light green, it adds a little bit more yellow to it and gives it more of a yellow olive green. And I do have some videos coming up on my Manic Collection Mania Mondays, of a couple of different alcohol markers that are in my C areas, because I am coming into the C's. I do have one more B area video to do, which is a marker as well. Hello, husband. Hello, husband. Yeah, that's it. Are you on your way home, love? No, you do not need to pick anything up. We need to go out after the stream. My husband is on his way home from work, and he always calls me. But on Wednesdays, my phone is turned off so that it doesn't ring while I'm in stream. So he messages me. It's really cute. He's such a good husband. And he tries to make it into as many of my streams as possible, at least to say hello to you ladies. Hi, Penny. I didn't see you there, honey. Thank you so much for posting that. Penny has posted the email address for anybody that can't find it, of what email address you need to send that email to for your bingo card. Hello, nurse. Yeah, exactly. So if you haven't found that email address, Penny has posted it for you. And, that is the email address that you would be sending just a little note saying, I would like my bingo card for the grand prize, game. Okay, so we've got the holly done and we've got the mistletoe done. Now there's these little vines here and I'm not quite sure what they are, but I want them to be a lot brighter than holly and mistletoe. So I'm not going to use this olive green on them. I am going to use the light green, and we're going to take a look and see if we can find a little bit darker green, but not too, or a little bit lighter green, one or the other. And I think this is a little bit darker. I'm just going to test it because I don't have my swatches out because I wasn't thinking. And it is a little bit lighter. So I'm just going to do the outer edges. I'm going to take this light green and we're going to go down the vine. And then we'll do the outer edges of these little leaves in this green, and then we'll go over it with a lighter green and we'll see what it looks like. We may end up having to go over it with the darker green. I've got a bright darker green out, and we may have to go over it with that, but we'll see. And then we'll do the holly berries and the ribbon, and then we will be all done number 9. All right, let's take a look and see what this looks like. Okay, so it is a little bit too close to the same color, in my opinion. So I'm just going to take this darker green and I'm just going to go over it at the edges just to give it that oomph. Try not to ruin it. I'm going to need that sharper, I think. Yeah, they did. They went down very, very, very smoothly and did not. Sometimes when you color with a glitter pen or a gel pen, you get these lines from where the pen is touching the paper. And I did not get any of those with those gel pens, so I was really impressed. So I'm just going to go on the outer edge here with this darker pencil because that other lighter pencil is too close to the same color as the pencil that I used for the outline. And then I'll fill it in with that lighter pencil. Okay. Because, yeah, that's a little bit too dark or too close to the same color. And I don't want it really, really close to the same color. And as you can see, when I go over that dark green with this light, it blends that dark green into the light color, which changes the color a little bit, which is what I wanted to see. If you find that you don't have enough definition in a leaf or something like that, and you want to add that definition, just take your darker color after you've already done. Now I'm going to turn you a little bit here so I can get to the area that I need to get to. Just take your darker color and try not to break it. Don't press too hard. Like I said, these are really, really, really soft pencils, and I'm pressing too hard on them. And just put in just a little bit of definition. Now you can always do that with either your pencil or a, where's that other pencil? There it is. A different pencil that's a little bit harder, just with a little black, or even with a fine pen, a fine marker, just to give it that little bit of definition there. And if you go over that, it will lighten it up a little bit. Yeah, and I've turned you so far now I'm no longer on camera, so I turn it back so you guys can see what I'm doing. But sometimes with these little tiny leaves that have no definition, it's really hard to see that they're even leaves. And that bothers me. And I could have probably colored them, something other than a greenery, but I like greenery at Christmas. I like having things look fresh and alive. And that's one thing that greenery really does, is it makes things look really fresh. Now I'm going around these holly berries with almost an Indian red. It's almost a terracotta color, just to give it that darker shadow. Once I go over that with an actual red, it will lighten up a bit. I need to sharpen this. I could have swore I sharpened all my pencils before I come on screen. And I always miss one or two. Sometimes I miss them all. Sometimes I am not even close to prepared. Sometimes I'm just going to fly by the seat of my pants today because I have nothing ready. And today I actually prepared, thought I had everything ready, and still was flying by the seat of my pants. So you sit there sometimes and just go, why did I bother? Okay, and then we're just going to go over it with a lighter red and bring those shadows in. Shyla is on the sofa sleeping. You will actually probably see her more on the Saturday stream coming up, because the cameras will be up above the floor level, up on the counters and whatnot. And she likes it when I'm in the kitchen, and she will come and visit more often while I'm in the kitchen, just because she thinks she's going to get food. I don't have any treats at my desk, so she knows that she's not going to get a treat while I'm on camera. However, when my husband is on camera, he has treats next to his where he sits in a cabinet. So she knows as soon as he's on camera, somebody's going to tell him to give her a treat. And he is going to. Yeah, exactly. Mad Monkey is going to say cookie. Exactly. She has to try for food. And people like Monkey will yell cookie because they're on when they're talking to my husband. They're actually on camera with him talking, and they can see her come in the room. And they will yell cookie, and she will hear it through his headphones, and will sit there and cough at him like she's dying until he gives her a cookie. Jordan, are you going to join us for the Christmas party, or are you just going to hang out? There's some really cool prize packets. Get one for your wife. Jordan's all quiet now. What did I get myself into? Okay, so I'm doing the ribbon in gold, and I'm doing the same process that I would do on the any gold ornament or object or picture frame. I'm just adding little bits of that dark brown around the edges. And I'm out of camera, sorry. I keep on moving it down on you and getting out of camera. So different little areas, I'm adding a little bit more darkness just to give it that curved look. Shadowed look. So I'm doing this the exact same way that I'm going to be doing the gold base, and the way that I showed on Tuesday how to do the gold base and things like that. Now, this is a technique that I learned through YouTube, and I have left a different things that you can look at so that you can see how the woman that taught me how to do it does it. She is coloring a picture frame in her video, and she has her video sped up quite a bit. So she has a voiceover telling you how to do it on her video. I did try to show you in a live video, so it is the actual time frame that it takes me to do it on those areas that I was doing it on. You can't color in you can't color in the lines. You can make the lines though. Okay, so I've got the gold ribbon done. And the holly, and now I'm just going to put a little tiny touch of that bluey gray color in the very bottom of these mistletoe berries, because mistletoe berries are white, but they're going to have a little shadow at the bases. So I'm just going to put a little touch of this gray in there just to give it a little bit of dimension. And then I'm going to take the train to say hello. I'm going to take this really, really pale gray from my Faber-Castells, and I'm just going to put a little bit of color on it and give it a rub just to spread that color out. Now we were going to look. Now, this is the color chart that I made from the Woodless pencils. And I think I'm going to use the rose color, maybe, or the deep lavender. What do you guys think? Well, the rose color is below it. Or should I use, say, sea mist? Sea mist is a nice looking color too. Let's see if I can get this to shine for you. Nope. Nope, it doesn't want to shine. The sea mist is a very silvery green color. It doesn't want to show you the proper colors and the shine. Or maybe even a copper. Copper might look good too. Or a copper pink. What do you guys think for the background? Maybe the copper. I think the copper would look good. I think. Since nobody is giving me an opinion, copper it is. And of course, I know that there is a delay, so I will take a look again and make sure that I haven't missed you guys saying something. There's a delay between the program that I use to stream with and YouTube. So I can say something and you guys don't hear it for 4 or 5 seconds, sometimes longer. So we've got the main part done, and I will be putting a little bit of jelly roll on the berries, of course, to give them their highlights and whatnot. Yes, I am going to use the copper. And these are a woodless pencil. And it's just basically the core. And it's a metallic pencil, and they are so lovely. One thing I really, really like about them is once you get them down and you get to the point where you are where you want them to be, you just go over them the opposite direction that you colored, and all of those layer lines that you've put down, all of those marks that you've put down from coloring just disappear. Now, I'm not going to go too deep into the areas around everything so that it looks like it's kind of glowy. And I have put ruler lines on around it on the outside so that I know where to stop. Otherwise, I'll just end up coloring the whole page this color, which in itself is fine too. And I am pressing kind of hard because I wanted to see if I could. And they are taking the abuse quite well, so. I have only found 3 or 4, but I am quite sure there's a lot more. I know Arteza has an entire set. I think it's a 48 set of woodless pencils. But I was trying to, when I looked at them, I was looking at the smaller sets because I wanted to try them out first before I jumped into a whole nother set of different type of pencils. Because, you know me, I love pencils. I just really do. I like the feel of them. The only thing that I'm not too keen on with these is they do have a bit of a smell. So I don't know if it's because of the oil in them or just the fact that they are straight pigment or what, but they do have a bit of a oily smell. When you get a new set of oil pencils and you have to air them out a little bit. This set is the, where did I put the metallic woodless pencils. They are done by Pacific Arc, and they're a set of 12. It has names and numbers on them, and they lay down really, really nicely. When you sharpen them, it's really kind of cool because you don't have to take off the cover. It has basically a paper cover over it. So you're not getting the pencil all over your hand, the pigment all over your hand. But when you sharpen it, it sharpens just the same way basically a crayon does. And the sharpener will cut right through that paper and sharpen it just the same way it would a crayon or a colored pencil. The paper acts more like the wood does on a colored pencil, which is really cool. And you can sharpen them into a really fine point and get deep into small areas and everything else. It's really awesome. I'm going to turn you a little bit so you can see more of what I'm doing. Maybe turn the camera a bit. There you go. And I could get all the way up into the areas of the plant if I sharpened it again. They are really soft, so they do, if like right now I am pressing really hard on these just so I can get it. Well, I wanted to see how hard I could press on them. Is really the truth of the matter is I haven't played with them a whole lot. I just got them yesterday. So I have been cautious. So I've thrown caution to the wind now, and I am pressing quite hard on them just to see what kind of color comes out of them and what kind of blendability they have just to themselves. So I am pressing quite hard on it, and it doesn't seem to be doing a whole lot of pilling or dusting, I should say, because it's not really like a wax pill. You know, when you have a crayon, if you press really hard on it, it leaves that wax build-up pill type stuff. And this does not, which is really kind of cool. I'm really impressed with these. And once I'm done any of the back and forth lines or any of that sort of thing, will be eliminated. So hopefully, like I said, I am pressing harder than I normally would. So I'm pressing harder than I did last night. Let's say that on the other areas, because I just wanted to see how much of the white spot I could cover with it by pressing a little bit harder and burnishing that that paper down. And like I said, I've never used these before beyond last night, so it's a learning curve for me too. And I don't mind, you know, doing learning curves with you. So, you know, if you've never tried these before, or if you have tried them before and you see that I'm doing something that I shouldn't be doing with them, or if I would get better results by doing it a different way, you know, give me a holler, yell it out. You know, say, you know, if you did it this way, it would probably work a little bit better and cover up a little bit of the white line, or, you know, anything like that. Yeah, I'm really liking this color. Now, of course, My Nightbot is running, which is a good thing. Basically, what Nightbot is doing is he's reminding people that, of course, to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. Hit the bell. You will make sure that you get all the notifications of when I'm going live, whether I've uploaded a video, that sort of thing. Of course, that does happen every day, so expect the notifications to come in. As well, another thing that it is going to remind people of is this is an unmonetized channel. The only finances that I have are what we bring in, and that is what gets spent for prizes, giveaways, content, things like that. So if you want to help out with, shipping and handling and that sort of thing for any of the prizes, as well as any of the content, you can do so by making a donation to my PayPal account, and that Nightbot will put up a link to that, and you can just, if you choose to, it's not mandatory, it's not something you have to do. If you choose to, you can help out with just a small monetized donation. All right, so I'm going to dust that off, and then I'm just going to take this one will work. Oh, no, it won't. It's got the, let's see, what can we use on this that I haven't used yet? I think I'm going to try using my little finger stickers and see if I can get some of that color to lay down without knocking off any more of the shine. See, it just looks like a little bit too much like crayon to me right now, and I don't like that. On camera it does anyway. On the page it actually looks like it's covered quite well. But on the camera I can see all the different layers, all the different lines and everything in it, which is weird to me because I can't see it on the page. And I think it's just because the close-up camera gets way too close up. If I put it on the far away camera, it'll look right. But I like the way it looks off camera. Not too fond of the way it's looking on the camera. So I'll put it on the bigger camera and you can see what I see, because I don't see it right up close like that. I'm not seeing all the imperfections like I do with the close-up camera. And with the close-up camera, there's a few. But it's also, the fact that I always see imperfections in my stuff. So, all right, so I'm going to put you over onto the other camera so you can see how that looks without having it right up close in your face. So that's how that looks on the other camera. So it looks a lot smoother further away. Even if I was to bring that up closer to you, it still looks smoother than it does on the other camera. The blender actually scrapes it off a little bit. So I tried that last night with the blender, and it scraped off quite a bit. So I think if I get maybe a softer blender, the two that I have out right now, both are a harder blender and scraped it off. So I didn't want to try that again until I get a softer blender. If I have a really soft blender, it might, blender pencil, it might work a little bit better. But the one I have out is my Prisma and my Derwent. So I don't think I tried the Derwent. It doesn't have any color on it. So let's try the Derwent and see how that does. It's not doing too badly, as long as I don't press into it, I think. Let's put you over onto the other camera so I can see if it's actually removing any of that heavy lining that I'm not liking on the other camera. That makes sense. So this is what it's doing. It's picking up and moving, of course, because that's what blender pencils do. But it does seem to be laying it down a little bit more, but it's taking a little bit of that shine out of it as well. So it's taking some of that glitter out of it and making it more matte color instead of shiny, which I'm not sure I like. So I'm just going to grab that pencil again and just go over it again and maybe... No, I've already burnished the wood, the page, so it's not taking anymore. I was just thinking if I can add just a little bit more, maybe it would get that shine back, but it's all done. It's good enough. One of the things that I did do with this that I really liked the effect of was I took my really small eraser, and this is just a 0.8. I think it's a 0.8. Where is it? Of course, it doesn't tell me. But it's a Mono Zero Tombow eraser, and it's just a really, really, really tiny one. So it's got a really, really tiny eraser in it. And I did this on the blue one. And I'm just going to put in some lights by making some eraser points. Just going to erase little tiny areas to give little lights in those background areas. Now you can fill in these lights with, a little bit of stickles, that sort of thing. Or you can just leave them as lighter areas, or you can put some white in them. If you do that, of course, you don't really need to use the eraser. So I'm just going to leave them white, a little bit lighter than the color that's down. So that it looks like little light shining through. But it does seem to erase quite well with just a little bit of rubbing with the eraser. So that's really cool too, because you can't erase crayon. You can erase pencil crayon, or colored pencil as you guys call it, but you can't really erase a wax crayon. Because I guess you can. I guess you can scrape it off because the wax crayons have a higher wax to pigment ratio than a colored pencil or a pencil crayon. Pencil crayon has more of a pigment ratio, a higher pigment ratio than a wax ratio, where a wax crayon has a higher wax ratio. All right. And just to knock off all your little bits, I'm going to switch you over to the other camera so you can see what I see. because I don't see it right up close like that. So, alrighty, so that one is all done, and it only took me an hour to do that little tiny 1-inch square. So, because that has taken me an hour, I think we are pretty close to almost out of time. If you want, I can work on this one a little bit, or we can call it a day and just sit here and chat for a little bit and find out if there's anything that you guys want to see on the channel, or any questions that you have about the upcoming bake along or the upcoming Christmas party or anything like that. What would you rather do? Would you rather me just finish coloring a little bit on this, or do you just want to sit and chat for a little bit? And look at my hands. So I think by the end of the week, this one should be all done, right? Yeah, this one is, so that's tomorrow's, which is Thursday, Friday. So Saturday, this page will be all done on Saturday. If I actually get to do them every day. I have a tendency to have so many things going on all at the same time lately. I really don't like works in progress, so absolutely. Leslie, thank you so much for joining me, and definitely make sure that you send me that email so that I can get you that bingo card and get you all hooked up for the Christmas party. And go take care of you boys and have a great day. Take some time, of course. Remember to relax, color, and stay safe. And it is getting late, so it is 4:30, so that 4:30 my time. Of course, that would be 6:30, which is dinner time in central area, and 7:30, which is possibly bedtime for some little ones in other areas. So I am going to say thank you all very much for coming in and hanging out with me. You want me to chat and color some more, Penny? I don't mind coloring and chatting, but I don't like talking to myself either. So I do it all the time, every day. I sit here and talk to myself in color. Well, then what we'll do is we'll finish up the base of this. I don't like to run more than an hour and a half, so I will finish up the base of this wonderful piece of art. And then we will call it a day. Of course, if you have anything that you want to see done on the channel, make sure that you let me know, because if I don't know, I can't get it done. If I don't know what you guys want to see, if I'm not already giving you what you want to see, then I can't see if I can do that. I know that a lot of people, want to see what is on the channel is on the channel. So, I don't like changing things a whole lot, but I don't shy away from adding things sometimes. I know I have a really tight, really loaded schedule for y'all, so I know that can be an adjustment too. So I would like YouTube to get up off the duffus and send me the link ability to change my URL, because they have not done that yet, and they haven't told me how to do that, which is really annoying. Oh, that was another thing I wanted you guys to look into as well. We have in our coloring community, we have a wonderful lady that has created a fantastic traveling color apparatus. It's called the Color Pocket. And if you could look her up on YouTube and, of course, subscribe to her channel. She is getting really close to hitting 100 subscribers. And she is just the loveliest lady. I've had her on my channel before when I was on the other channel. And her videos the videos of me talking to her are still available on my channel. And she is just the sweetest lady. And it would be absolutely wonderful if I could give her a shout out, and if people can run on over to her channel and subscribe. I will leave the link to that in the information area. All right. So we're almost finished this area. I'm just going to darken up that yellow, bring that gold together. Now I want this area here to have a little bit more of that red. How are you doing with your work in progress there, Penny? I know you probably haven't gotten a whole lot done on it. It's been... I had something under there. I hate that. Every once in a while I get a piece of wood shaving or something underneath my page, and every time I color over it, I get this bump, which changes the color that's going down. All right. Okay, so there's the absolute bottom of the base done. I'm going to switch you over to the other camera here so you can see it maybe a little better. I'm going to move you forward. Excuse my arm and my shadow. There we go. So there's the base done. Just going to do a little bit of cleanup in different areas that I see are a little too defined, I guess is the word. You want to make it look like it's blended really, really well together, that the areas are that way because of natural occurrences, not because of the color that you've laid down. All right, now we're going to move on back up into this area. Yes, absolutely. It is fun, and I hope a little bit relaxing. Sometimes I get so overwhelmed by all of the projects that I've got going on and all of the different things that I want to get going on. My brain takes over and I get so many ideas. And then the time constraints for those ideas hits me, and it's like, wow, I've just bitten off way too much, way more than I can chew here. But I've got it all under control now, so it is all good. All right. Now, the pencils that I'm using are the same ones that Dee uses in her videos. They are the Brunzels, and the start color that I'm using is number 40, and then I go from number 40 to number 42, and then number 19 for the yellows for those bright yellow colors. It's more of a mustard yellow, but it really stands out against these other two browns. All right, now I'm just going around the edges there where I would expect would have some tarnish or some shadow from indentation, that sort of thing. And then we'll add a little bit of the ready brown. I hope that some of these tips and tricks videos that I've been showing are actually helpful, and not just me coming off as a know-it-all. That I'm actually helping. And like I said, this is a tip that I learned the same way you guys are learning, is from the internet. The wonderful artist that taught me this is so talented. And I did leave a shout out to her in the description of the video for Tips and Tricks Tuesday last week. So if you haven't already gone and taken a look at her stuff, please do, because it's really cool. All right. Oh. All right, so just going to finish up this area here, and then I think we're going to call it a night. Like I said, I've got some things that I've got to get up and in place before Saturday, so that I have all of the ingredients and everything for the cookies that we're going to be making. And what we're going to be making is a cookie that I grew up with being made, and it's called WIP shortbread. And it is a nice, soft, melt in your mouth type of shortbread. And of course, because I am a gluten-free person, heathen, most people would say, I do make them two different ways. I make them so that I can eat them, and I also make them the regular way with gluten flours. So we will be doing the one with the gluten flours on Saturday. And if we have time, because it does take quite a bit of time, I might get going on another item. It all depends upon our time constraints, because it does take quite some time to get the cookies made. So that should be fun. I'm glad that you love the tips and tricks. I'm so glad that they're helpful, at least. At some point, I'm going to run out of tips and tricks, though. Because I don't know a whole lot, but I don't mind sharing what I do know with y'all. All right. And of course, you can do this the same way with silver. If you're doing this with silver, what you would do is you would take the darkest gray, one of the darkest grays you have, one of the lightest grays you have, and a black. The black you would use the same way that you're using that dark brown in this gold. The gray, the dark, medium gray, dark gray that you would choose would be the same as the red. And then the lightest gray, of course, would be the same as the yellow that we're using, and use it the same way. So you would have a dark area in around the baselines, around anywhere that you're going to have any heavy shadows. You use the medium gray where you're going to have a lighter shadow, and of course the lightest color where you're going to have a light hit, a light source. Because that is where your lightest silver colors are going to be. So you can do this technique with pretty much any color. Like if you want to do it with a rose gold or anything like that, you can do the same technique. Basically, all you're doing is you're making it look like an antiqued or aged by adding a thicker layer of this dark color and then adding a bit of a bronze color to it so that it looks like it's been aging for quite some time. It's the same with silver. When it ages, it gets deeper and deeper and deeper into the black gray colors as it ages. So you can probably do this with almost every metallic color. However, you got to remember when copper ages, it turns green. So remember to use greens. And just take a look at how copper looks as it ages and look at the different stages of aging for a copper color. And try to emulate it as close as you possibly can. Copper's a difficult one. But really simple ones like gold and silver, steel, stuff like that. Well, steel would be pretty much the same as silver, just instead of a really light base color, like here I have the base color of the yellow. With the silver, you do a really light gray as your base color. If you're doing steel or something like that, you would do that base color a little bit of a darker gray. Not a whole lot, but just a touch darker, so it's a little bit more of the color of steel. All right. And hopefully this looks like an antique golden base, not just like I've dirtied yellow. But I think it looks really good. So, and to tell you the truth, that's really all that matters. As long as you enjoy your work, anybody else's opinion really doesn't make a difference. You know, and I was talking about that to somebody today because while I was going through all my videos, I noticed that there's a few that, of course, people don't like, and that's perfectly fine. It's your opinion, and if you don't like something, of course, throw out the thumbs down and let me know that it's not something that you want to see. And if I get enough of those, I may actually, pay attention to it. But right now it's just one or two, and it was upsetting me a little bit that somebody was, really didn't like my stuff. And, she said to me, well, do you like what you've put out? Do you enjoy what you're doing? If you do, their dislike really doesn't matter. So I got over it. quite quickly. Okay, so there we have the tree base done, as well as the lower base of the snow globe. I just have the embellishments here left, as well as the poinsettias, the bow, and of course the snowflakes. And then this picture will be finished. I am so glad that a few of you have stayed and watched all the way to the end. We are hitting an hour and a half. I want to thank you all for being here and coming to see me. For everyone that is going to watch the video, of course, remember to make sure that you email me first and foremost, so that we can get you into the grand finale prize on the Christmas bash on Sunday. My brain, for some reason, took a moment and said, yeah, you're going to stutter on that, so you just take your time with it. Another thing, of course, if you want to join us over on Facebook, we do have our Facebook group up and running, and that is is My Coloring Corner, just the same as you would have it here on YouTube. So if you do a search for the group, just take a search for My Coloring Corner. Answer the questions that are on the application, and one of the administration will get you in there as quickly as possible. Of course, hit the like button if you enjoyed this video. Of course, leave me comments. Let me know what you want. If you want everything to remain exactly the same, leave me a comment of everything's perfect, don't worry about it. If you want to see gel pens being used a little bit more so you can get a better feel for it, leave me something that says gel pens. Exactly. One or two don't matter, because it makes me happy and it's helpful. And as long as I'm being helpful, that still makes me happy. So, and other people seem to be enjoying it. I'm getting more and more subscribers every day. So obviously people are enjoying what I'm doing. So, which is wonderful. It's absolutely fantastic, and it makes me feel so good. Leave me a comment. Let me know what you want to see. If there's something that I'm not paying enough attention to that you want to see a little bit more attention to. Yes, absolutely. Hit the subscribe button if you're not already subscribed. And I think that's about it. Of course, always remember to relax, color, and stay safe. And I will finish this up at some point, either tonight or tomorrow morning, and I will post it to the Facebook group for everybody that is a member there so they can see it. The great thing about being a member of the Facebook group is that any of the events, any of the videos, anything that I do start on a video, once it is finished, it is published there so that you guys can all see it. So like I said, if you're not a part of the Facebook group, that's perfectly fine. If you do decide that you want to join us over there, absolutely, we would be happy to have you there. Just, of course, remember to fill out the application questions. Other than that, you all have a great night. And of course, always, always, always remember, relax, color, and stay safe. Bye-bye for now. We'll see you guys again soon.